wait.
Okay,
Sorry,
let's go to Mr.
yes.
Ariyo and let's talk about
Yes,
security.
about security.
Yes.
Thank you very much. From what I read in the papers, 348 billion naira is being given to defense, 319 to the police. My heart goes to the police because 319 billion looks huge. But you know what? By the time the Ministry of Police Affairs takes his own slice of that cake, by the time the Police Service Commission takes his own slice, and my late uncle, Mr. Corruption, comes in, IG may have less than 30% of this amount to work with. So where are we? Even at that, somewhere they said they are feeding dogs with 110 million naira. How many dogs do we have? How effectively trained are they? And you can ask more questions.
Mr. Ariyo,
How many human beings this can feed?
we are bringing expatriates in to train our dogs.
Who says?
I'm sure
that's
that's
what
why
will
the
happen
budget is the
eventually.
way it
Because
is.
when and they said they are building
Do we have
barracks
dog
and all
trainers
of
in
that.
Nigeria?
And all of you see, because it's a lot of money. I mean, I just imagine. I wish I'm a dog that can feed out of this 110 million. It's a lot of money. You know.
I know that.
Now let's come to the issue of security. It's not always throwing in money that is the solution. The ones you have thrown in the past, what results do you have to show? Again, I mean, I've done a lot of study on the police, so I rather concentrate more on the police. I feel for the average policeman on the street, they are victims, because the mentality that that they came to meet, the corporate structure in the police is the reactive colonial paramilitary stuff, whereby they are not accountable to law but to the government. So they are like tools in the hands of people in power. To that extent, what training do they have? And now you now say, okay, they are trained, but where is the benchmark against which you can say you are measuring the performance of last year's budget, okay, in terms of improving their training facilities, welfare, and all of that? And even in this one, what are the key performance indicators whereby you can say, oh, at the end of the day, this is how far we have gone? There are no parameters. They just budget and then they, I mean, some of these things, if people are called to question and say, show us how you derive these figures, you will be shocked what they'll be talking about. It is true we are facing serious security issues in Nigeria, but it's not throwing in money. And when you are throwing in money, is the money getting to the right quarters for the right purposes? Okay, the last three of the last IGs are in court for corruption. What happened? The money given to police, of course, went to private pockets, and IG was jailed here very recently. Meanwhile, we had National Assembly supervising. What were they doing? Minister of Police just was there. What were they doing? And so on and so forth.
Sharing of the money?
Yeah, so it's just regular job for the boys, the usual thing.
When you look at the amount of money, it's a big amount that's being voted for the defense or for security. And you share that money amongst the different arms of security agencies in Nigeria. Do you feel this is enough? And will the money be effectively used? First, do you think it is enough?
The money
the
should be enough, okay, if the very pervasive and superior element of corruption will not come to play and take away the bulk of the money. Okay, to that extent, the money should be enough. Secondly, don't forget that over the years, it has been the trend, okay? And if we have been addressing the issue systematically like that, we will have been able to escape some of these things. For instance, they keep budgeting for air conditioners year in, year out, photocopiers and stuff like that, which are not consumables. They're not disposables. They should last for years. In your house, I'm sure you've not bought a deep freezer in the last 5 years. But government keeps budgeting for deep freezer, photocopier year in, year out. To that extent, all this money is being budgeted. Majority of the money will end up for wrong reasons in private pockets.
Mr. Ariyo, you said that this money should be enough. Please recall that state governments have been the one, in the main, supplying vehicles to police in their states. Are you therefore saying that state governments, neighborhoods, Neighborhoods also
Right,
contribute
of
vehicles
Well,
and
I
equipment.
also add my own
Yes,
money
so
to it.
are you therefore saying that this trend will reduce or will stop
Again,
because what has been voted
the
to them in the budget
the
should cover all that?
no, you see, to that, what I'm just trying to say is this: they've covered some mileage with that kind of money.
Okay.
A state like Lagos remains the biggest spender on security. They do more. I mean, if you do a cut down, Lagos State spends more on police in Lagos than federal government. The figures are there; they're not hidden. Now, so to that extent, they may not be able to run away from doing that because what they are doing, they are adding value, and that is the value that translates into peaceful community for Lagosians or like for other people. To that extent, they must still continue. But you see, it's still the same issue because people will now say, okay, if it is so, why don't we break it down? Let's have state police, and then we now get another set of problems entirely, from where we are. So they should still continue supporting because no matter what the federal government may give, for as long as the element of corruption will be there, the money may never be enough.